Hello and welcome to my campsite. My name's Jay and today I'm camping in my 2021 Subaru Outback. And before I do any actual camping, I'm going to show you how I camp in my Subaru Outback. Let's take a little tour. All right, let's start with one of the most important pieces here, which is the tarp. Now you might ask, why do I need the tarp? And the fact of the matter is, if you have a 0% chance of rain, you can go without the tarp. But if there's any chance of rain, you're really going to want a tarp, and let me explain why. The reason you want a tarp is related to this right here. This is mesh that is on the window. So this rear window is down, but we've got bug mesh there to keep bugs from getting in the vehicle. We've got another one on that window, and I actually have one on the sunroof as well. You can see it up there. It's attached with magnets. And again, bug mesh to keep bugs out. Now the reason we have these is to allow for airflow, specifically while we're sleeping overnight. Without this, and if you have no airflow in your Outback or any other vehicle, you're gonna wake up a soggy mess in the morning due to condensation. So that explains why we want these pieces of mesh on our vehicle and we want airflow, right? And that should make the tarp pretty obvious. If we've got these pieces of mesh here and it rains, then we're gonna get wet. So that's the fundamental reason that we want the tarp here. Now, the secondary reason, you can see that the way I have it pitched here, it gets me this little kind of patio back here, right? So the point is that, let's say you have a really rainy camp, kind of the last thing you want to do in that situation is be stuck inside your vehicle all day, either laying down in the back or sitting in the front seat. That's just a recipe for misery. But give yourself a little overhang like this and it becomes a really pleasant experience. Even though it's raining, you can post up in your chair here and do whatever you want. Read a book, drink a couple beers, and enjoy some rain camping. So those are the two big reasons that we want this tarp. I think that a rectangular tarp works especially well for this pitch, and a relatively large tarp, again, we've got to have it far enough forward that it covers both the windows and that sunroof. You do not need necessarily all of these. I've slept in this many times before with just one window mesh on, but it's quite hot today, and that makes it even more important for me to get some airflow. I've got links below to the pieces of window mesh, the sunroof cover, as well as this tarp, if you want to know the specific gear that I'm using or the dimensions of the tarp or anything like that. Now, I've got it pitched out to these poles. These are Green Elephant tarp poles. You can find other brands as well, but again, these will be linked down below. And these are adjustable up and down, and obviously they just attach to the grommet here, and then I've got it tied out to a tree over there. You could also pitch it down to a stake. I've got a lantern on both of these tarp poles as well to give me some lighting back here. Concluding our tour of the patio, I've got a little camp table here. I've got a battery-powered fan and a battery-powered lantern, my chair, my cooler. Now let's go inside. Okay, boring stuff along the left over here, just some bins and bags with all of my stuff in it. And then here's the bed. Now, for the first year or so that I owned this vehicle, I used backpacking or camping sleeping pads in here, and they kept failing on me. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and they'd be completely uninflated. I think being in the vehicle with kind of the hard plastic and things that are on the bottom of your vehicle here, I don't know if they just touched something sharp or if I'm just too big of a dude for an inflatable sleeping pad. I don't know. Either way, I got tired of replacing inflatable sleeping pads. So what I've switched to now is a foam mattress. This is a tri-fold mattress. I'll throw in some B-roll here when I'm back home and show you what I mean by tri-fold. But again, a simple folding foam mattress. I believe it's 4 inches thick. And so I know that this isn't going to fail on me. I was also able to purchase this little fitted sheet for it. Both of these I purchased on Amazon. And I'm very excited not to have to worry about my mattress deflating overnight. I have a simple 40-degree Coleman bag on top of this, bunch of pillows up there. Very easy to sleep in the back of an Outback. You need to put the front passenger seat forward, and it should give most people plenty of room. I'm 5'10", 5'11" on a good day, and I've got plenty of room. I think you could probably go up to 6'2" to 6'4" and have appropriate space here if that seat is all the way forward. But I have to show you something. You're going to have a gap here between the back seats and the front seat. You can see my mattress is hanging over. It looks fine now, but if I was to lay on it, it's going to collapse down. Now, of course, you can build or purchase platforms for this, but I'll show you a little later on what my solution is. But to show you very quickly, I have a bin over here that holds my kitchen supplies and a butane stove. And when I stack those right there, they come right up here. And they support the head end of this mattress when I am laying down. So that does the trick for me. If you're significantly taller than I am, 6'2", 6'4", you might be so stretched over that the little bin solution isn't going to work for you. And in that case, you might just want to buy a piece of plywood or something like that and just lay it across that so that the top of your body is supported. So that's it. Those are the basics of sleeping in your Subaru Outback. You will find on YouTube and elsewhere very, very fancy builds that people have. And if that's your thing, if building is your thing, that's great. If you have the time and the money to do that, awesome. What I wanted here was a very simple setup. I use my vehicle literally every day to get myself to work, to get my son to school, to get my family around town. So a large, cumbersome build that I'm constantly taking in and out is just not something that works for me. When I get home, I can literally take this stuff out of my car and have it fully functioning again within 15 to 20 minutes. There's some upfront costs in terms of things like a mattress, those pieces of mesh, the tarp that we've been talking about here, but nothing crazy expensive. And again, if you want prices on these things, you'll find them below. Those things out of the way, I'm gonna actually camp in this vehicle tonight, and I'll show you how I go about enjoying myself in the woods and sleeping in the Subaru Outback. Come along with me. I'm gonna show you the 4 main things I tend to do while I'm camping. Number 1, hiking. Let's go for a walk. I think I found where I can come get firewood later. Now I'm gonna hike down this ridge into the creek valley down here, but I'm gonna do so with a fishing rod that I'm gonna grab from the campsite, because my second favorite activity while at camp is to fish. So let's get the rod. All right, let's continue the hike. Go check out this creek, see if I can show you guys any fish. I'm gonna have to climb down here. That's a little, well, looks like a hybrid sunfish to me. This looks like a greengill, which is a green sunfish bluegill hybrid. Pretty little fish. Caught him on this tiny, tiny little micro crankbait. Got another little greengill. He's small enough we can put him in the aquarium and give you guys a nice look at him. There he is. Thanks for hanging out with us, buddy. Caught him on this tiny little Hellgrammite on a tiny little jig head. Oh, that's a bluegill. Little, tiny bluegill. Got our third species. It's a little creek chub. Tiny little creek chub. We got fourth species. This is a striped shiner. Striped shiner. Pretty fish. Man, I thought we'd catch some fish in here. I didn't know we'd catch 4 species. Creek chub, striped shiner, bluegill, greengill, which is a hybrid. Fun fact about striped shiners, I don't know if it's the case for all shiners, but they smell very different than other fish. They don't necessarily smell bad, it's just a very distinct smell. I mean, I'm not saying they smell good, like you wouldn't buy like a striped shiner air freshener for your car. At least I wouldn't. I'm obsessed with this little fishing hole right now. 4 species, I love it. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I do make fishing videos too. That's not what this is. This is a camping video. I'm just tossing in a little bit of fishing. But the reason I mention it is because I'm not somebody who typically goes after huge fish in huge lakes. I do every once in a while, but my greatest love when it comes to fishing is fishing tiny little creeks with real light gear, real tiny lures like what I'm using here, and just trying to catch as many species as I can. To me, that's just really fun. Creek chub. It's another creek chub. Let's put him in the aquarium so I can finally give you a good view of these guys. All right, there he is. What's up, buddy? Thanks for biting, buddy. There's a bathtub, so if I need a bath later, I could use that. Whoa! That guy came out and slammed it. That was awesome, buddy. Another greengill. See, bud? Caught him on this guy. All right, that's enough fishing for now. We got other activities to get to. You can see the Outback up there on the ridge. Let's zoom in. There it is. See the tarp? That's where we're going. One super clutch item when you're trying to cool down at your campsite is a battery powered fan. This is a USB rechargeable fan. 3 speeds. We're going on high, of course. And it even has a light too. Lasts a really long time on low. Even on high, I think it lasts for 6 or 7 hours. Don't quote me on that. Another clutch item is this. It's a 50,000 milliamp hour battery bank. It's huge, but I can use this to recharge the fan and also to charge my phone. Typically I'll do both overnight. I'll keep the fan going all night long on this thing, wake up to a fully charged phone as well. Third activity, reading. Here's what I'm reading right now. Where Should We Camp Next? A 50-state guide to amazing campgrounds and other unique outdoor accommodations by Stephanie and Jeremy Puglisi. The authors also have 2 good podcasts if you're interested. One is called the RV Atlas, and the other is called Campground of the Week. Check them out. Now you might be asking, Jay, where are you camping right now? The answer is I'm camping at a hipcamp. If you've not used hipcamp before, it is an app and it allows you to rent campsites on people's private land. So this is very simply just a campsite that a gentleman and his wife have set up kind of at the back of their rural property, obviously on this nice ridge. We've got some pine trees around us here, the creek down in the valley, some hiking trails. You've seen the fire pit, a couple tables back there as well. So it's a really nice setup, but basically you use the app and you can find these sites that are close by. Some of them are, sites where you are alone, like here. Other places are essentially private campgrounds that people run on their property. They might have 20 or 30 sites. So they're not just all totally solo sites like this. I do a lot of camping as well at state parks and national forests and things like that, but hipcamps are great as just an additional resource, an additional option for your camping adventures. So check it out. Gonna go cut some firewood. It's time for activity number 4, which is having a few beers. Beer of choice today is Great Lakes Oktoberfest. It's currently late August, almost September, and you might have seen it in some of the footage, but we're starting to get just our first little hint of the leaves starting to turn. It's still pretty warm out today. We'll check the temperature in just a second here, but it's definitely also starting to cool off a little bit, and that has me looking forward to fall, and thus we're drinking the Oktoberfest today. Cheers. Tastes like Halloween, folks. Before I forget it, let's go pound our beer cap into the beer cap tree. Yeah, you heard me right. There's a beer cap tree. There's our addition. What's good? This Oktoberfest, that's what. Just about 8 o'clock p.m. and it's 74 degrees. Pretty darn comfortable. I believe it's gonna get down to about 62 overnight, which is just awesome for sleep. If in the course of any of this video footage, you're like, what's that weird whining noise in the background? It's the fan. And that's a gunshot. We're gonna hear lots of gunshots. We're out in the country, that's okay. But it's not super hot right now, as I demonstrated, but the fan helps with the mosquitoes alongside the bug spray. So we're gonna keep it on. It's dark out, people. It's time to get a fire going and a dinner going, so we're gonna get out the fire bin. Now, at any point in time, the fire bin has a grab bag of fire starters. We got tumbleweeds here, we got Bigfoot bushcraft fire starters. These smell like bubble gum. That's fun. Got some fat wood in here and some Duraflame fire starters. I'm gonna hit the easy button. Use one of those. I'll stick a piece of fat wood in there as well to get us right on our way. If you're not familiar, fat wood is from pine trees. It's part of the tree where the resin that's present in the pine settles. Tends to be kind of in stumps or where the tree branches out or is injured in some way. It gets this really high resin content. If you smell it, kind of smells like turpentine, and it's highly flammable. So toss one of these in the mix when you're starting a fire, and it's one way of hitting the easy button. All right, let's get going. Another use for your battery-powered fan. Woo! Yeah, buddy. All right, as our fire matures and produces some coals for us, let's talk about dinner. Tonight we're doing what I call a heat and eat, meaning there's no actual cooking involved. We just need to heat up our meal. So we're doing pulled pork sandwiches and mac and cheese. So I've got a couple little foil pans that I prepared earlier, and in one of them I have pulled pork, and in the other we have some mac and cheese. So once I have coals here, I'm just gonna place those foil pans on a grill over the fire and heat them up. Really easy but delicious dinner. It's Friday, I'm tired, I'm drinking Oktoberfest, and I want something relatively easy. So we're going with heat and eat. Let's get after it. Just got a little pack grill that we're gonna put down there. All right, and we got our pulled pork and our mac and cheese heating up. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Just look at them coals. Just look at them. They're hot. Coleslaw. And pickle. Oh yeah, look at that. Cheese is all melty. All right, in terms of eating on camera, I've only got you here for the taste test. To watch me eat the whole meal, you have to subscribe to my only camps. Gotta pay extra. Stupidly good. Just stupidly good. And with such little effort. Heat and eat meals are the way to go sometimes when you want to hit the easy button. All right, I will not subject you to watching me eat anymore. I'll see you when I'm done. That's it. That's the extent of our cleanup. Like 25 seconds. I gotta give one more shout out to the fan, okay, because I brought my headlamp, but the batteries inside of it were dead, and I must have used my replacement batteries, like my backup batteries, on my last trip, so those were absent as well. But as I mentioned earlier, the fan has a light, so I'm like navigating around my campsite with this fan. So let's recap, okay? This fan kept the mosquitoes away from me. It stoked my fire. It has helped me navigate my dark campsite. And tonight it's gonna provide a breeze and help circulate air inside my vehicle as I sleep. And it's also gonna provide some white noise. I'm not sponsored by this company, okay? I'm not sponsored by anybody except for my wife, because She like lets me buy all kinds of camping gear and stuff. So she's my only sponsor, and this company is not my sponsor. And there are a million rechargeable battery powered fans available on Amazon and elsewhere. I just want to share with you how useful this has been on this particular trip and in trips past. All right, good talk. Demonstrating the kitchen bin and the butane stove underneath the top portion of the mattress. All right, beer's gone, so I'm getting in, going to bed. Next thing you're gonna see is the Nightlapse, and I'll see you in the morning. All right, I'm in here trying to go to bed, and I felt something fall on my leg. It's our friend from outside. Such a friendly guy. I'm gonna put him outside. This morning we're going to be doing coffee, and for the coffee we're going to have 2 packs of Starbucks instant with a little bit of milk chocolate, hot chocolate mixed in, and then keeping it simple with some oatmeal. Good morning, little coffee cheers to you. Hot and delicious. Slept well last night, nice airflow in the car, no condensation, so our window mesh and our sunroof mesh worked well. I'm gonna eat my oatmeal, enjoy this coffee, and probably just sit here and relax for a little while. But I'm gonna say bye to you now. Thanks very much for watching to this point in the video. If you liked it, give it a like. If you really liked it, think about subscribing. If you hated it, tell me why in the comments, and I'll write profanities back to you, I promise. Hope you have a great day. See you on the next one.